Hi, I'm Katie, and this is Cooking with Katie. Today we'll be making a summer tiramisu. I learned how to make this dish this summer when I went to Italy. I was there for a month, and I took 2 classes, an art history class and a cooking class, and I learned to make a bunch of different types of things. One of the things including summer tiramisu, and that is just like a dish with raspberries instead of coffee. So one of the first things you want to do is you want to make sure that you wipe down your counters. You want to practice safe food habits. And one of those things is to make sure that your working area is clean and ready to go. Another thing you want to do is make sure that your hands are washed and very clean. So usually using antibacterial soap. Okay, today we will be starting with a mixture of mascarpone cheese, sugar, vanilla powder, and heavy whipping cream. So first you're going to want to start by whipping your cream, and we're going to do this with a regular hand beater, and you're just going to put it on usually medium speed just until it's nice and whipped. Okay, so right now we're just waiting for the heavy whipping cream to just be really nice and light and frothy. You want to do this so that your mascarpone cheese, when you add it together, doesn't get too soupy. Otherwise, it won't turn out that well, and it'll just all run together. So you're looking for more of a thicker consistency, almost like the kind that you would get from the store, but not totally whipped. Otherwise, it'll be it won't mix with the cheese very well. Okay, and now we have a nice and light mixture. So we're gonna take it over here. Gonna grab our mascarpone cheese, and now at this point we want to add our you need 12 tablespoons of sugar. So we're just gonna add that right to the mascarpone cheese that we already have in this little nifty bowl right here. We're also gonna take our vanilla powder. Now this is just vanilla beans that we grinded up, but mostly you might want to look for vanilla powder at a spice shop because they'll have the actual stuff that works better. So now we're just going to combine these together with just a rubber spatula. It's really easy. Doesn't take much to do it. But once you get this whipped up, you're going to want to add the heavy whipping cream to make it into more of a, instead of being really like thick, almost like cream cheese, you want it to be more of really light, so it doesn't just sit on top of your, you want it to just sit on top of your cookies. You don't want it to just like almost crush them in a way, because that will happen. So now we're just adding the whipping cream to our mascarpone cheese. So now that you have your mascarpone cheese, your sugar, your vanilla powder, and heavy whipping cream all mixed together, you're going to take, you're going to want to have some raspberries that are pureed, that are seedless. You're going to want to seed it, otherwise it won't work that well. And you're going to take your cookies in a 9x13 pan. And once you get your cookies open and out, you're going to dip them in the raspberry puree, just on the bottom, just on one side. And you're going to line the bottom of the pan. So you're just going to go like this, dip it right in there, kind of get off the excess a little bit, and then just put them in the bottom of the pan. Just lining it. So now that you have the bottom of your pan layered, you're going to take your cheese mixture and just spread it on top in a nice even layer. It's kind of hard to do, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. It's just making sure that your cookies or biscuits or whatever you're using to line the bottom will stay put while you're spreading everything around. I'm going to make sure that your layer is even so that no spot is obviously thicker than the other, otherwise it won't look good when you present it on a plate if one side is awkwardly smaller than the other. So now you're going to want to take another little thing of fresh raspberries And just put a few in the middle layer, just so there's, you know, you really get the raspberry feel in it, because it really just makes it so much better. And now that you have your cookies, your first layer of mascarpone cheese, and then your raspberries, you're going to do another layer of cookies, so that you get, so you're going to want 2 layers of the mascarpone cheese and 2 layers of the... So now we're just going to start layering this again. You're going to dip your cookies again in the raspberry puree, seedless, of course. Okay. So now that we're almost done doing the last layer of cookies, we're going to put another layer of mascarpone cheese on top, and then that'll be your final layer of pretty much everything. So now we're just going to do our last layer of mascarpone cheese. I'm just going to pop it right on top. And this layer you can make sure you can do a thicker layer than last one, because you don't need to save any just in case. So we're going to do a thicker layer on top because it's so delicious. Basically, it's just like frosting a cake. You just want to make sure that it's nice and even and that it looks really good. You can, now that you're done with your top layer, you can just put on the last bit of raspberries on top, just to make it look pretty. Okay, and something that I just like to do is take the last bit of the raspberry puree and just kind of drizzle it right on top. So when I was in Italy, another thing that we were graded on, besides the taste and texture of the food, was presentation. So after you make everything and have everything done, you're going to want to make a presentation plate so it looks really nice. And that is how you make summer tiramisu. I'm Katie, and this is Cooking with Katie, and tune in next time to make fresh egg pasta.